Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom. Prince coming at you with a video, and I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua for making this possible. I want to make this video briefly on the milk, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which is the beginning or was when you first come into the truth. I just wanted to make a brief video on that for those who don't understand what they should do as becoming a new member, which they are, but coming into this truth as an Israelite. So first I want to get off and to the curses. I'm going to go to Deuteronomy 28:68. Let's get some curses to show who this book is talking about. And it's prophecy. This book deals with prophecy. Things that are said and they happen right after. And the Lord shall bring thee in, this Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. So when you look back in history and you look back and see that a nation of people was led into slavery with ships. And when it says and when it says and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again, because we was already in slavery under the Egyptians. But Egypt also means bondage. If you go to Exodus, let's get there real quick in Exodus 20:2. This is Exodus 20:2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. So Egypt just means bondage because we was in slavery. We was captives over there under Pharaoh, right? It's like him. And I'm going to start over on Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way wherefore I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. So we was brought over. This is modern day Egypt, if no one don't know, if y'all didn't know. We was brought over here in slavery, and we still over here. We can never go back to our homeland because you got the fake Jews over there, which are the Amalekites. And we can't go back to our homeland. Russia, the Russian man, he can go back to Russia. The Asian man, he can go back to Asia. The white man can go back to Europe. The Japanese man can go back to Japan. And so on and so forth. But us, we can't go back to our own homeland. And thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies. So if you look at history, we were sold on auction blocks. We were sold for bond men and bond women. Negroes for sale. They had signs. They had all types of stuff like that. When you go back in history, and it's facts. And the Lord said that this will happen. And this is prophecy. So they let you know right there who is this curse talking about? It's talking about us. So that means this book is about us. It has nothing to do with nobody else. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Right? So no man has redeemed us out of this captivity. We still over here, oppressed as a people, as a nation. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Let's go through some of the curses. But first, let me get Deuteronomy 28:15, the reason why we cursed. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hear, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee, right? So the Lord said at one point in time that if we didn't listen to him, if we didn't do all his law, statutes, and commandments, that we'll be cursed at everything. We'll be cursed as a people. And we're going to go through some of the curses. And it fits our description as a people, as a nation, as a whole. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28:16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. So when you look at the analytics and statistics and things like that, not even that. If you go to the hoods, the slums, the ghettos, we are the ones that's in there, impoverished, on drugs, selling drugs, robbing, killing our brother. and things like that, because those are curses. The Lord put that curse upon us. So when you see us, when you see that all these other nations that are above us because they oppressed us and led us captives, but the Lord did that because we didn't listen to him. As we read in Deuteronomy 28:15, we didn't do his law, statutes, and commandments. And cursed shall thou be in the field. Right, so we was in cotton fields picking cotton from sun up to sun up. We wasn't getting paid for it. I know brothers was out there fainting. You know, we getting our backs beat in, whipped in, tore on, while the white man sitting. He living good, watching us work like as slaves, basically. That's what this talking about. Cursed shall be thy basket in thy store. This verse 17, Deuteronomy 28:17. Cursed shall be thy basket in thy store. Right, so when we go to our communities, we don't own anything in our communities. We can't get loans to go start a business in our communities. But the Arab man and the Indian man and the white man, Chinese man, they can go in our stores and get a loan. I mean, they can go to the banks and get loans and start businesses in our own companies, selling us swishers, tobacco, the fake kush, the fake drugs and things like that, and the Lord said that we will be cursed in thy basket in our store. So when you go in the hoods and the slums and the ghettos, you see the, if you go to the corner stores and things like that, you see the Chinese man that he runs that store. See the Indian, Arab man, they run them stores. So called. They run those stores. We don't own anything in our communities because the Lord put that curse on us. Curse shall be thy basket in thy store. Verse 18. Curse shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Right. So when we produce, this is a generation thing through generation, meaning that we will be cursed throughout all our generations until we came back to the Most High and followed him in his ways. Right. And let's get another curse. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28:54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother. Right. So brothers, today we can't go up to a brother and say, "What's up, man? How you doing, man? Can I get you something, anything?" Brother gonna look at you up and down. He gonna want to fight you. You step on his shoe, he gonna want to square up with you. If it was me with a group of brothers and we at the mall, we see another group of brothers, we gonna be looking at each other up and down, trying to size each other up, because the Lord put that curse upon us that we would be evil, or I will be evil towards our brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave. Right, so our evil eyes towards our wife, you got woman beaters, abusers and things like that, rape, and you got brothers that'll leave the household. Who's known for leaving the household in the family? The father of what ethnicity, what nation of people? Us. We are known for leaving the house, leaving our mother single with the child, right? So now that we know that the book is about us and these curses fit our description, let's go to some more things. Let's go with Salakia. Let's go with the Lord set up to eat. Now that you know that you are Israelite according to the Bible. We are Israelites according to the Bible. African American, those are the last names of two white men. Y'all might be confounded that I said Israelite, because that's our biblical nationality. That's what was given to us. Black, African American, Afro American, those are terms given to us by our slave owners and things like that. Terms that was just made up, to be exact. Salakia, let me get this precept. Leviticus 11 and verse 7. Salakia. Leviticus 11 verse 7. And the swine Swine is like pig, if y'all don't know. It's like pork, basically. You can't eat pork. And swine, though he divided the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cub. He is unclean to you, right? So pigs and things like that, pork, that's unclean to you. Because pigs, they eat their own feces. They roll around in mud. They eat dead bodies and things like that. You don't want that in your system, man. That's what breaks down. That's what breaks you down and have you having heart attacks and things like that, high cholesterol, high blood pressure and things like that. And this verse 6, Salaki, this verse 8. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. So you can't even touch it. It's unclean to you. These shall ye eat of that are in the water. So the Lord set up a food which you can't eat out of the waters. I mean, Salaki, what you can't eat and what you can eat. Of their flesh shall ye not, Salakia. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters. So anything that doesn't have fins and scales in the waters is, we can't eat it. But anything that does have fins and scales, which is fish, we can't eat it. It's clean to us. And the seas and the rivers, them shall ye eat. And all that had not fins and scales in the seas and the rivers of all that move in the waters, and Salakian, of any living thing which is in the waters, then shall be an abomination to you. So you got a lot of people, they eat a lot of crawfish, crab, lobster, things like that. Those don't have fins and scales. Those are shellfish. Shellfish, that's an abomination. And the Lord hates all abominations. So for y'all to eat pig, pork, swine, and all that other stuff, and shellfish, you can't eat that according to the scriptures. That's a commandment. You can't eat that. It's an abomination. Salakia. They shall be even an abomination to you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcass in an abomination. Right, so it's just going into the shellfish and things like that. Whatsoever had no fins nor scales in the waters, it shall be an abomination unto you. So anything that doesn't have fins and scales in the waters, it's an abomination. You can't eat it. It's unclean to you. And let's get some more commandments. These are some more commandments in the book of Leviticus. And I'm reading the Torah, which is from Genesis through Deuteronomy, which Moses wrote. And Torah means law. So all of these things are the law. This is Leviticus 19 and 27. Ye shall not round the corners of your Salakia. Leviticus 19 and 27. Ye shall not round the corners of your heads, meaning you can't shave your head bald. You got a lot of pastors, they bald head, no beard, nothing. They in deep sin. They in all types of sin and don't even know it. Let me read that again. Ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shall thou mar the corners of thy beard. Right, so you can't shave your beard off. No matter how, no matter how it grows, anything like that, you can't shave it off, period. That's the commandment that the Lord gave it to us. He don't want us to have bare faces like females. He want us, this is a manly thing for us, be having a beard. Salakia. This is Leviticus 19:28. This verse 28. They shall not make any cuttings in your flesh. So cuttings in your flesh, you know, you have these white people who cut themselves when they depressed and things like that. You can't do that. Some brothers, they cut themselves and make tattoos, so-called tattoos out of it. You can't do that. That's an abomination. Ye shall not, let me read that again. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. Meaning you can't get any tattoos. That's sin. You cannot get any marks upon your body. If you do have any tattoos that is among you and you didn't know and you just now coming to the truth, you can repent, acknowledge that sin, and never do it again. You can't get no more tattoos. Salakia. And let's go to verse. Let's jump to verse 30. This is about the Sabbath day. I'm gonna get into that. And for y'all don't know, the Sabbath day is on Saturdays. The first day of the week is Sunday. Yes, let's go to first. Let's go to Let's jump to. We're gonna get back to this. I'm gonna go to Exodus 20 and 8. Because it explains more about the Sabbath. This is Exodus 20 and 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor Salakia, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy maidservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within the gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the 7th day and hallowed it. So basically, from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, which is the Sabbath day, the Lord set that day up to be a holy day. Like, you can't do any work, you can't do anything of your own pleasures, you can't work, you can't have sex, you can't play the game, you can't go play basketball, can't go do anything of your own pleasures on that day but study, go out and labor and things like that. Because the Lord made that a holy day. He made that